All right, folks, we're getting awfully close here. We're going down to the last minute or two here of warm-ups. We'll be closing up shop here real soon so we can get racing started. If you're online, tuning in and joining us on the stream, thanks for watching and being a part of our event on the online space. We'll give one more lap here for our current warming up athletes before we'll have them exit. So this will be your last lap of effort for the riders on the track, and we'll start clearing it out. Thank you. Jessica, Unique Bite is here. You can come on over and pick up some delicious burgers if you're here on site. Our first week of this year with the food truck back in service, and we're so glad to have Jessica with us today and the fantastic food that you can pick up over here today. Some fantastically spicy and fun flavors on your burger. You can pick up the best French fries out of a food truck, let me tell you. I get them every time they're here, so I know. It's first-hand experience. A few more minutes, you can get your order in before racing starts, because we're just now going to clear the track. The track is closed for warm-up time. We'll now have our athletes find their way off. Thank you. In just a matter of moments, we'll call for a quick meeting to kind of get things set and ready to roll. We'll take a brief moment to introduce everything, and we'll come back and bring out our first field a little after 7 o'clock for racing here, Friday night racing at the Velodrome, starting soon.
Hey, Corey. We are getting ready down here if you want to call them.
All right, folks. We'll have your attention on the infield, please. If you could turn your eyes towards the home straight, right in the center of the field, we appreciate it.
Good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful night. Thanks for coming. These are awesome fields. If you missed it, we are not doing anything this weekend because it's too hot. Okay? We are figuring out Monday, today or tomorrow, so stay tuned if you intend on racing Monday. We will post that out. Some just general reminders. We are trying to get off the track as soon as possible. We are still staging in the warm-up circle, hopefully until next Wednesday when the restrictions get lifted. Our new rules will go out when those happen. But try to get off the track as soon as possible. If you're taking your victory lap, be on the apron by the time you come around here because the next group is coming. Okay, Keirin's, we are staging there, rolling out to the rail. You're starting from the rail. Trying to think of anything else. Juniors, I will need your Stayers buddy as well as your Madison jersey number at some point, probably after your first race. And then other thing is that so this Sunday is obviously canceled, but next Sunday on the 4th, we have racing. So make sure you sign up for that. That should be an awesome time. We'll get going. Phil, just go over the schedule.
Okay. We're racing. Good evening, and thank you for joining us here on the prequel to the heat. We're still going to bring the fire tonight with our riders, as they're going to be racing fast and furious under the sun, but thank you for making the trip out here. We are canceling the rest of our activities for the weekend, so in case you haven't heard that announcement before today, Saturday and Sunday activities have been canceled here at the track. We're waiting to make the call for Monday. Calling now our junior competitors for the split scratch to the queued up area. Good evening and welcome to the Velodrome. If you're in person, thank you for making the trip out to cheer on our athletes and be here. Do not be afraid to make some noise as the riders come by. Today's going to be a very young day. We've got a lot of juniors, and we even got a junior camp that's going to be graduating during the race. So we get to say congratulations to some new riders in our community. Juniors, that's you. You can see if you're online right now checking out the live stream, we've got that race schedule up for you. If you're here in person and you want to take a look at that stream or the program for tonight, the best way to do so is at the website velodrome.org/live is where you're going to want to head to. You'll find the schedule, the start lists, and of course links to the stream that are going on now currently on Facebook and YouTube. Appreciate it if you're enjoying that online. If you'd leave us a thumbs up, a subscribe, and of course a share would be much appreciated, as if you can spread the word, that can really help us let folks know that we're doing cool stuff here in Redmond, Washington with our bike racing and our online presence. All right, the team in blue is the officials. They're the ones that are going to make sure the racing is safe, and they're following the rules tonight. So they'll be the ones to start them out of turn 4 here, and after they go around for their neutral lap. These juniors are not started yet. They will be up after this one parade lap around the track. The split scratch is essentially a scratch race, although in the middle there's a point sprint. So we're going to do 2 sprints during this race, one right in the middle, therefore the name split scratch, and one at the end. The rider that does the best between those 2 sprints will be the winner. We'll keep track of it based on points. So if you got to finish near the front to get points, the first 4 across the line will go 5, 3, 2, and 1. And the rider with the most at the end is how we'll figure it out. We'll just add up those points and see who our winner is. Our juniors will go in this split scratch for 10 laps. There'll be a bell at 6 to go for the first sprint, and there'll be a bell at 1 to go for the second sprint. On deck, women competitors, you're up next for the split scratch as well. And that whistle is the signal that racing is underway. Juniors, you're going to get a bell at 6 to go. Here they go, folks. Make some noise for the juniors on their first lap. So we got some young riders in our community that come out here pretty regularly. We got a couple different teams out there represented today, some different jerseys. But riders in our area will come out if they are under the age of usually 15, 14 years old, especially. They're going to be racing in these junior fields pretty consistently. And some of our juniors in that 14-year-old age or so, they also start racing in our other fields. So you'll see some young riders in our other categories, but this is our youngest category of riders on a Friday night you'll see racing. So the future of the sport out here and competing in good form tonight. So we'll be having some fun cheering on juniors all night long. Lining up and moving things along quickly after 1 lap down. Keep your eyes there on Ben Jurassic, who made that fast on that lap number 432 for Liquid Velo, the rider in black and green. Riders kind of bunching themselves up here. Should be seeing 8 to go. The bell in a couple more laps. Indigo Vining takes the lead position at the blue line, waiting for somebody to want to make a bigger effort here underneath. Later in tonight's program, we will be also recognizing some Camp Velo graduates. So riders that will be brand new to our community from our junior camp that we have going on during this week. Opportunities to get young riders out on the track are many here at our Velodrome. We pride ourselves in being a great place to learn the sport and a safe place to race. You can get a young rider signed up still for one of those later in the season Camp Velo experiences by heading to velodrome.org, velodrome.org, and then navigating to the education tab at the top of the website. You can get more information there. Happy to be behind Indigo still, who's kind of just guarding the front of this field and waiting for somebody to make some kind of move. They're a lap out from hearing the bell, and this will be for that first point sprint to see who gets the early lead at the halfway point in the split scratch. One of the benefits here of us being in the spectator side for track racing versus other disciplines of cycling, of course, we get a whole bunch of different kinds of races. So these guys are going to race not just a split scratch, but they got a couple more coming up that they get to try tonight, including that fun stairs race at the end of the day. Well, they'll be riding alongside one of our older competitors. Hey, the bell's ringing. Next time around, we're going to be throwing some points out. Who wants to go get it? Number 503 is the first jump as Tom Herink is making the big move here. The next rider behind him, that's going to be Jurassic in the black and the green. I see JC Pyle in a pretty good position. He's got kind of that bright colored helmet, making a sprint down the backside there of the track. Coming up through turns 3 and 4, it's still Tom leading things out, made a really good move. But it's hard to stay at the front that long. Jurassic comes around, and he's going to try and find 5. Oh, nice second effort there. I believe that was Merrick Gallagher, the rider, to come up alongside for the 3 points. JC, I think it's 2. Women, please, to the queued up area. Women for staging, please, on the warm-up circle. Thank you. Our early race leader, Ben Jurassic, with 5 points after the first points sprint. I had Merrick Gallagher, the rider, come across the line second to get 3 points. So he's going to be another one to watch. That's number 513. The point here is to do the best over the 2 sprints. So the easiest way for Ben Jurassic to ensure that is to win the next sprint as well. If his closest competitor, Merrick, wins it, they'd be likely, if, let's say, for example, Ben picked up the 3 points in the next sprint and swapped places with Merrick, he picked up the 5. The victory would actually go to Merrick for picking up the last sprint, as ties are broken on the final lap. So if any of these riders comes out in a tie, we'll sort that out based on their finishing order on the final lap. There will be a bell at 1 to go as our riders take up all of the track here, measuring each other up and awaiting their next opportunity. I heard you say that. It's a good evening to be online enjoying the racing, as I see several folks tuning in to the live stream. Thanks for joining us here. We're just in our very first race, if you're just tuning in, of the evening. Our juniors are going to be out here for a couple times. Currently in our series of split scratches, each of our fields is going to be doing that tonight. We got women up next. They're in the staging area. Cat 1, 2 men will be the field to follow. Waiting for the bell at 1 to go to kind of be our finishing mark here. Getting a good view of the riders as they swing by on corner 4 and past the home straight now. 2 to go. And there's our bell. It's 1 to go. Cooper Bunn at the front will make the first move. That's Merrick, the rider, in second place and second in the overall points now, chasing him down. So the sprint full on engaged. Our current race leader following that lead group of 5 and now swinging up into the front position. It'll be Jurassic taking the front spot. JC Pyle makes his move out in front. He's trying to get himself up into what would be a second place finish, I think, if he can get there. It'll be Jurassic making the big sprint down the back straight, and Merrick making a second effort. Should be able to hold on for the 3. It'll be Merrick finding 3 more. 2 points will go to the way of Indigo, and I think JC finds 1 in the middle of that thing. And that'll do it for the juniors for now. Women's competitors coming out for their split scratch. On deck, Cat 1-2 men coming out next. All right, on the track for the neutral in a 12-lap split scratch. Our women's competitors going to be going out for 12 laps with a bell at 7 to go. Points at that 6 to go mark. And then once again, we'll hear a bell at 1 to go. Oh, off we go. Sound of the whistle, and we're racing.
Start it up.
All right, on the track right now, again, our women competitors are up and rolling. Their bell will be at 7 to go for their first sprint. Once again, it takes success over 2 sprints to win this thing, so set yourself well up in the first one. You only got 2 chances, so you've got to do well in both sprints if you want to be in a good spot at the end of this thing. I mentioned we have some younger riders in these adult fields because they are allowed to do so. There's one of them that just pulled out of the way is Danny Scoville. Gets room for one of our most successful in this field in the early season. Annette Williams been doing an impressive showing throughout the early part here of 2021. She comes to the front, so keep your eyes on her in both of these upcoming sprints. She pulls up to the right to move towards the back of the field and take a rest. Kelly Darlene takes the lead spot now, wearing bib number 101. Also for the Jerry Baker Juniors team, and that's Emily Alexander now at the front. So just enough women out here that we can get in a nice organized group here, and they're keeping a pretty good clip early in this race. Just enough that we're giving riders the need to move into the back and kind of find a draft to be on, but not enough to necessarily pop anybody off before these sprints are going on. So we're moving together efficiently and working our way down towards those opportunities to pick up points in the race. That's Becca Book, running for Team Shadow, pulling up to the right there. Becca looking around, trying to see where she's going to slot in as the field knows they're getting closer to the sprint, so positioning will start to become important. There's just enough riders out here that a little bit more than half of this field will be out of the points. You want to be in a pretty good spot when things get up to speed. And now you can see, as I'm starting to talk about them thinking ahead to that sprint, riders are being a little less willing to do the work in the pole. As the bell is ringing, riders sitting a little high. Who's going to grab those first points? Emily Alexander's finds herself all alone in that sprinter's lane. Track right in front of her. Waiting for the jump here. Kelly Please is riding in the middle of the field for Apex Racing. The black and the blue rider gets up and out of the saddle, now starts to chase down. But all the way from the outside as Becca Book makes a big acceleration. It'll be the rider in that bright kit coming to the front. Annette Williams says, okay, I can jump on that wheel. Becca Book coming out of the corner here wants to find the first 5 points. Annette Williams says, I got to go and get it. Whoa, would be Williams and Book 5 and 3. I think Scoville might have found the 2 points on the end of that sprint. That's certainly unofficial. Making a good move in this last sprint right at the front of the field. Currently sitting in second with 3 points is Becca again. Looking for the next opportunity at 1 to go to find the next points and their last chance to sprint it out. Current race leader, bib number 102, is Annette Williams. She's in that mostly dark blue kit, Center Cycles team. Currently the third wheel in that lineup. There's Williams at the front, Darlene on her wheel. One, two men should be making their way over for the ready area, please. Our men should be making their way over now for staging. If you're not already on that warm-up circle, please get on over there. We'll need you. Cat 1, 2 men. Race is coming up. Still time to get your order in over at the food truck. Jessica's joined us with a great team and some delicious burgers and fries you can order right from here at the Velodrome. So here in person looking for a meal tonight, we got you. Or I guess Jessica does. Riders just saw 3 to go. Next lap will be that setup lap at the 2 to go mark. We'll see where riders sit themselves into the field before they get that bell. We saw this rider now coming to the front, Kelly Please, make a pretty big move in the previous sprint. Didn't end up getting her to the front of the field, but we'll keep our eyes on her as she's going to be looking to make a move again in the next sprint. Hoping that works out more in her favor this time. Seeing 2 to go now, the positioning game beginning. Mara Edwards pulls to the right, and the field mostly follows suit as riders are pretty wide across the track and starting to be in that preparation mode. Rather than driving pace, it's now time to sit and wait. Watch for the next attack. Some riders here would prefer the distance get shorter before they move. Others are okay going a little bit longer. So that's kind of the calculus going in now for the riders, is who's going to make the jump and who wants to go the distance. Some riders are okay just letting this thing roll down to the bell. Edwards takes the front of the field now as she pulls the group through turns 3 and now coming onto the home straight. Edwards gets the bell at 1 to go. Current race leader, kind of mid-pack-ish right now. Edwards without points from the first sprint, looking to get some now. She leads down through turns 1 and 2, and the field starting to bunch themselves behind her leading position. Now the acceleration really coming from the middle of the field. As you can see, they all sweep around the outside to the right. It's going to be Annette Williams popping out right in the middle there in the blue kit. That orange helmet is one of our juniors. It's Danny Scoville, found the nice wheel to be on, and she makes a nice move. Can she find 5 in this sprint? She's got a heck of a lot of speed. Annette sees her. It'll be Scoville and Williams going 5 and 3. Becca Book picks up 2 more. And I think Kelly Darlene got the big acceleration for 1. Scoville with 5 points at the end will move herself up nicely, but it will be Annette Williams finding 3 more points in that sprint that'll hold on for the win. Nicely ridden by her. I believe Scoville getting those 5 points might have found herself in second place just from that one sprint. New to these recent races, we are asking riders to make their way off after the race is finished on that lap, but we're still kind of getting used to that. So we'll try to make some reminders here. We will be finishing on the same lap. We'll come off on our finishing lap rather than taking the parade lap. Thank you. That's got a new change from last week, so we understand. Cat, 1-2 men coming off of the split scratch, 16 laps on the boards. Your first bell at 9 to go. Once again, we'll have one at 1 to go. We've talked a lot about the juniors tonight, but I always want to remind you that there are opportunities to sign up for some adult classes as well. The first thing I'd like to point out to you is that if you're just curious about what it's like to ride on a fixed gear bike, I don't know if you've noticed as these riders are going by, they don't have brakes on there and no shifters. They are in direct drive mode, so if they pedal backwards, that is reverse drive on that bike. They are directly connected to that gear on their rear wheel. It's a pretty unique experience, but we've got a bunch of bikes here, our rental fleet, that you too can get your hands on as an adult rider. You can come on in just for $10. We'll get you set up with one of our bikes for an hour with the help of our staff. Pretty low bar to just jump in and try it and see if it's something you might want to know more about. Try the track. Classes online at velodrome.org for the signups. And the whistle sign comes for the race to begin. 16 to go. Our man of the first lap is, well, he's taking an absence this week. So it'll be a teammate of his, Nick Martinez, on the first lap. We'll get things warmed up here. And what a good time to have the Broadmark Realty Capital team out in front. As I wanted to draw attention and give a special thanks tonight to one of our sponsors. So you can see actually over in turn one, we got the sign there for the Broadmark Realty Capital logo. We are a nonprofit here. We are operated by a nonprofit, the Marymore Velodrome Association, which benefits from a fantastically generous community and the gifts from some of our best sponsors and corporate partners in the region. Tonight we feature Broadmark Realty Capital, experienced hard money lenders of commercial loans, construction loans, and land loans, combining lending expertise and unparalleled service since 2010. Our thanks to Broadmark Realty Capital for their continued financial support of our programs here and for being an all-around advocate for so many in the Seattle area. We've been the great benefactor of being partners with them. Our thanks to Jeff and everybody over at Broadmark Realty Capital. So our first bell again will be halfway through this race, and this is our Cat 1-2 field. If you're new to spectating track racing or just cycling in general, our national organization has these categories that we get put into based on how fast you're doing, how good you're doing in your field. You get upgrade points. You work your way up. So this will be our fastest group of men competitors that we have out here on the given week, our fastest field on the whole, and also our longest distances. So tends to be a little bit faster for all the riders, a little bit longer distances in all of our events.
Hey, juniors, those of you in the, over here, yeah, high at the podium. Juniors, come here. I need to know who your stairs partner is, and you need to come grab a jersey. So juniors, come here. Juniors, come over.
At podiums, juniors. Here you go. So a little bit of anxiety at the front of the field a couple times. You can see riders kind of taking their chances off the front and just trying to push things again. And then once that doesn't work, or riders kind of jump on and grab onto their wheel, they say, that's all right, I'll just pull up, and now it's your turn. So a little bit of that going on, riders responding, bringing it back together again. And the field's been moving right and left quite a bit as riders are making those efforts. Everybody's pulling down to the left to follow that lead, and then when we're slowing down, we're pulling up to the slow lane along the rail where you get a really good look at our riders. Martinez has been in this sprint position a whole lot tonight. He's really trying to make a statement, if nothing else, just tire out this field. He's going to be joined by two more riders that are feeling like maybe this is the right time to move. You got to think here that 16 laps isn't a terribly long race, and it's just short enough that our sprinters, if you don't make it too fast, are going to love this thing. They'll just beat you in both of these sprints. And these three riders here are okay getting away from the field. They'd rather not deal with that top speed if they can help it. Turns out the field is feeling it too, and Steve Wilson's number 25 in a bright blue kit decides to bring things back a little bit and accelerates well to bring back the 3. They're off the front. And just in time, too, as our field comes back together again. I see a whole lot of white at the front as the bell rings. Points next time. Front riders pick points next time. Our first sprint underway as Martinez looks over his shoulder and sees, yep, indeed, the field is still right with me. Martinez is okay driving things right now. Look out for the rest of the field to start accelerating down the back straight as they are wont to do. Oh, man. Brando is making the move for Fount Cycling. Keller Rohrbach on the wheel. That's going to be Matty Hers coming in the second wheel spot. Who's going to swing out to pick up the 5? Is it going to be in the sprinter's lane, or Matty going to be able to get there? Oh, it'll be down the sprinter's lane. Kaiser finds 2, and I think it's Nolan for the 1. That's number 11 in the pink jersey. Finds 1 point, I believe. So which matches our official results right now would be Brando Russell for Fount Cycling. He's bib number 6, is our leader with 5 points, the winner of the first sprint. Matty Hers coming in a close second. Number 15's got 3 points. In third place is Henry Kaiser the Laser. Number 44 for the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. And number 11, Nolan Adams, has 1. So any of those 4 riders can find their way into the next sprint. They will certainly be in a very good spot. All right, so we are kind of in the interim laps here between sprints. Mike Darlene finds himself at the front now. Alex Siegel moves to his right as well, giving room for more riders to do some effort here, as many riders not looking too excited to do the effort. Steven Wilson's the last of them to pull up quickly before the sprinter's lane becomes abandoned. And you know what an empty sprinter's lane is meant for? Number 18, Nick Martinez. He's like, yep, it's open. I'll go. Every time. He's just going to try to make this thing as hard and as fast as he can. And the field not doing a whole lot yet. As he looks over his shoulder, he sees they're all above the blue line. He's got a buddy. It's Haldy from the Single Malt Velo squad. Yeah, that's right, Single Malt Velo, living their best life. Haldeman's Hand-Built Wheels, another one of our great sponsors too. Check out his great products. And thanks to Haldy for being a great partner and one of our sponsors here in 2021. He's going to work in tandem here. 2 bikes working as one. Martinez and Haldeman. It looks like Haldeman might have to give up the effort here, though, as it might be Martinez on his own. What a great move, though, for number 18. If he can stay out here, he'll pick up 5, and that could easily guarantee him a top 3. It depends on how the previous sprinters, how they finish in the upcoming sprint. So we'll keep our eyes on some of those riders. There's one of them, the orange helmet, Henry Kaiser. Got 2 points in that first sprint. So that orange helmet is one of the riders to watch. At the front of the field in green is our current race leader. That's number 6, Brando Russell, leading out the field to try to bring back this attack that he sees in front of him. Martinez, being given the opportunity to move away, has just gone and done it. He keeps pounding away at that attack, and eventually he got it to snap, and off he goes. Dancing off the front of the field right now is Ryan Ruswold, back to race here at the track, riding for Hagens Berman, number 28. He sees the field is staring him down, and he pulls up to the right and realizes his efforts will not be rewarded, much like they were for Martinez. Nick's getting some help here. The bell's ringing. 1 to go. Go get those 5 points. He's rooting. What he's doing right now is he's rooting against the riders that won in the previous sprint. If none of those riders win this sprint, he will be our winner by default. We'll see what happens here. Kaiser's at the front of the field. He's going to make the first move out of the field, lead this thing out, and he's given himself a little bit of an opening. We'll see how he plays it. Watching down the back straight is that's where the main action is going to be. It'll be Brando Russell now coming out the outside. It's going to be Andrew Karlberg coming into position. Here's Martinez finishing as well. He'll pick up his 5. Karlberg coming out of turn 4, and he's being followed by number 11, Nolan Adams, I believe. It'll be Karlberg for 3, Nolan Adams for 2. Brando Russell gets 1, and guess what? That 1 point is enough to still hold on to the lead. Unofficially, Brando Russell, our rider in dark green, will be our winner by 1 point. Nick Martinez comes in second. That call unofficial, but an exciting race indeed. I think we might need a reminder about our finishing lap exit strategy. Look out for our riders coming onto the warm-up circle. If you're in the ready area, please scoot to the right. Thank you.
Yes, make sure you stay in the little F1 grid. Way over to the right.
All right, we're figuring things out here. Again, as a reminder, we'll exit immediately after the last lap. Come on out. And if you're in the ready area, please stay to the right as much as you can to make sure there's a lane on your left for riders that are exiting onto the warm-up circle. Thanks. Appreciate you working with us on that. That's right. I see Rachel Spain tuning in online saying the 1-2s better watch out for the laser. Hashtag juniors upgrades. Nice. Very true. As talking about those upgrade points, riders in the season are earning those upgrade points, and so these fields do not stay the same throughout the entire season. They do tend to change as riders get their points and they arrive into their new field and mix things up, keep it dynamic and interesting. And there is the whistle. We're going to go 14 laps in this split scratch for the Cat 3 men, and another good-sized field tonight. 14 laps means a bell at 8 to go for the first sprint. Don Wells will take the honor of lap 1 as the field starts to settle themselves in behind. That's right. I've got some other folks tuning in online to check out the camp graduation coming up shortly. Our graduation coming up after the Marymore Crawl. That's the next race. Marymore Crawl, then our graduation. So the juniors are getting ready for that as well. Camp Velo, our week-long program where we get juniors ready to race. They're welcome to come back and join us every Monday night after that. And eventually they may find themselves, as you see in these other fields you've been watching tonight, they may end up joining us here on a Friday night as well, being part of either the juniors or our Cat 4, Cat 3, and eventually Cat 1-2 fields. It's all part of that bringing new riders into the sport. And we're looking forward to welcoming a whole new crew in shortly with the Camp Velo graduation. Our home crowd giving some help here for the Cat 3s. Early in the race, starting to roll along a little bit now. Number 312 is Gene Wainwright for Dyna Racing. Pulling out of the way for one of our junior competitors, it's Joe. Joe Springer, going back to that hashtag, junior upgrades. A couple of them here in the middle of this beautiful month of June. A little bit of activity here at the front of the field. The first bell won't be for a bit as we're now still a couple laps out from that first bell. Number 302 is Ken Dong also for the Dyna Racing team. That's that pink jersey with black.
No crossing the track while racing's happening. Also, to keep you on schedule, the crawl is next and then our junior graduation. Crawl is next, then our junior camp graduation.
This activity at the front of the field sort of giving an opportunity or disguising the real threat here as the bell's ringing. Moving at the speed. John Levi is moving. That's number 319. Our quick upgrader this year, coming out of the Cat 4s into the Cat 3s and being very active off the front of the field already. The distance he's opened up in the middle of this group is pretty significant. Some riders now trying to organize maybe to catch him back, as I believe the nearest rider behind him is Austin Hildreth trying to get this field energized. But Levi will indeed pick up the first 5 points, no question about it. Hildreth trying to find the next points. It's going to be Spranger in front of him, Cal Spranger, then Hildreth. And then I got Isaac Jurassic getting one. All right, there's our early race leader, number 319 in the black, looking over his left shoulder, waiting for somebody to come up and take the lead position. He's like, that was a big attack. Need to catch my breath. But he's going to recover just fine. I've seen him do this before. And the rest of the field will also not be as surprised, hopefully, next time, as they'll be keeping their eyes on the current race leader. Once you do that, you're kind of putting a target on your back. Adam Leopold is the rider to make the next move, trying to accelerate things from the front. Not staying on the front too long, though. He's trying to instigate a move, and he's able to do so. A couple riders joining in on the fun. It looks like we've now got a lineup trying to snap off the front here with about 7 riders. Jacob Tung, the rider just above the sprinters lane at the very front of the field. If you're here on the home straight, don't miss Dennis Crane over here and give him a hard time for taking photos tonight. He's doing an okay job, but he's living his best life. Summer 2021, post-teaching career. Man, wonder how that feels. I'm sure it feels great. You can check out photos from Dennis after the racing at dbcphoto.com. Support a 36-year teacher and a fantastic photographer at dbcphoto.com, where you can get great shots from tonight's racing. Another one of our partners and sponsors as well in the community. Thanks, Dennis, for being here again tonight. On the back straight, our field gathering up a little bit here. This is going to be that prequel to the speed that you've seen from a lot of the fields tonight as they sort of get rested before the top speed. And this is exactly where we saw Martinez make a move like this in the Cat 1-2 field. And Levi says, yeah, that worked for him. I think it'll work for me. If he picks this sprint up, he's certainly going to be our winner. Joe Spranger springs into action. Couple riders in tow with him. That's going to be Peter Snowbin in the white. And Snowby is also always one to try to get off the front of the field. And he's going to be here in the middle of this attack. 5 riders trying to get together with Levi losing a little bit of steam. Spranger is making a move, and he might be able to get up there. We'll see. Spranger. Snowblin coming up here. Crawl participants to the circle, please. Crawl participants, if you're running to be in the crawl, we need you to come over to the circle. Crawl participants to the circle, please. So our attack gets caught. Levi says, oh man, they found me. And then he sits up, and so does everybody else in the chase. They said, nah, this isn't the way to win. Let's slow down. Let's let the field catch us. Bells ringing. Who's going to find the front of this thing? There's our current race leader still in the middle in the front of the field. Everybody's getting their eyes on him. Number 320, Hilspreth again. One of our riders with points in the first sprint is going to move into position, as is one of our juniors that got a point at the back end of it. Isaac Jurassic's got plenty of speed left. Look at this kid go. He's going to come right around the outside of Levi. And who's got enough speed to keep up with this kid? Off and away he goes. Levi's trying to hold on to it. It's still going to be Jurassic off the front, and he's still gaining speed as the gap begins to grow. It'll be Jurassic coming off the front for 5 points. Levi trying to hold on for 3. Oh, geez. Hilspreth coming in for, I think, 1, maybe 2. If my eye was calling it, was Levi for 3, Cal Spranger for 2, and Austin Hilspreth for 1. But, whew, awfully close there for the 3 across the line. If Levi found 3 there, he certainly got enough to win the race. Adam Leopold getting a call out here on the YouTubes. Looking good, says Crystal. Checking in on the YouTube channel here. It's fun to have some of our fans interact a little bit. If you haven't already done so, feel free to leave that thumbs up. Give us a subscription and hit that bell notification to get notifications when we go live, although we're pretty predictable around here, 7 o'clock on a Friday. So appreciate any of the follows we can get, of course. It'll help us spread the word. Camp Velo kids are coming on into the track for their graduation race. We'll be doing that after the crawl. Crawl participants should be in the staging area now. Just give a moment for the riders that just get out of a race to maybe join in on the crawl. They're eligible to compete as well, so we'll give them a second to get together here. Marymore Crawl coming up in a moment. They are followed by the Camp Velo graduation. And the whistle has been sounded. The goal here is to stay on the bike until the bell rings. They have to stay behind the finish line for an unknown amount of time. And until that bell rings, they cannot put a foot down. They can't lean on anybody. They have to keep the bike upright under their own power. The most common way to do that is going to be with the track stand, making a good showing of the ability of the bike to be in reverse drive. Just by pushing back on the pedals, you can kind of get a balancing act going here. It might look easy for some of these kids because they practice it a lot, but it takes muscle, it takes practice, it takes patience to stay there on the bike. After that unknown amount of time passes, we will ring the bell, and it'll be a one-lap race. JC is showing off the no hand moves at the front. Spranger says, oh, I invented that here, man. Well, I mean, not officially. Okay, JC says he did it first. I believe him. Andrew Carlberg up here near the front down the sprinter's lane. Oh, Indigo just crossing the line, hoping for a quick bell here today. Didn't get it. Getting a little bit bunched up here. Oh, nowhere to go. One strategy is just to go as slow as you can all the way from corner 4 until you get up to the finish line. Hopefully the bell's rung by then. Eric Waterman, number 20, moving into position. That's Jacob Tung, number 307, putting down the foot. Oh, ran out of time for number 20. Carlberg coming. Oh, okay. Jeez. You actually had me fooled. Yeah. I mean, if the bell rings there, you totally win. Okay. Henry's coming. Oh, okay. We got 3 juniors, and it looks like it's going to be Maddie taking on the kids here. I mean, Brett, you made it. You can get your consolation prize at the door. That's right. Down the back straight, it looks like JC's got that bright helmet on, trying to pick up the victory. Yeah, who wants the money here? Oh, it's 2 of the 1-2 field coming out of the turn. It's going to be Kaiser and Harrers going 1-2 here. Nice. Our fun novelty race, the Marymore Crawl. It's a super serious race, guys. We always have fun with it. Nice job, Joe. All right. It'll be my job to start this race. So our kids are going to get into position on opposite sides of the track, and we're going to be doing an Italian pursuit. So we've split them up half and half on the field. The field is going to be on the home straight. The other half will be on the back straight to start. I'll give the countdown, the ready, set, go mark, and then obviously they'll start racing, and we're going to make a lot of noise for our Camp Velo kids. On the home side, I'm going to do my absolute best. And if I butcher any of them, Mom and Dad can come complain to me personally afterwards. On the home straight, I'm a teacher. I get it all the time, so it's fine. Adela, Javi, Molly, Ion, and Koji on the home straight. On the back straight, I got Keshav, Cody, Posey, Julia, and Keegan. Nice. 10 kids joining us in the field of battle. Okay, not the field of battle. But they are earning their stripes tonight because they've gone through a week of training and work with our coaches, our staff here, working quite a bit with Taylor, who's been out there giving them all the ins and outs of racing. And now they're going to get the big thumbs up to race on a Monday and join our community. I'm going to wait for both sides to give the ready signal, which will be a hand up in the air from our starters on both sides of the track. Once the hand is up on both sides, I'll be ready to give the signal to get them started. All right, we got the home straight and the back straight. Hands are up. That means we're ready to stop. Hands down. Making sure we're ready to go here. We good? Okay. On my mark. Ready, set, go. The Italian pursuit underway. The hardest part is getting off the rail. Did they do it? Oh, they did it expertly. Nice job for the start. So here's how this is going to work. Each kid gets 1 lap. So once they've taken their lap at the front, they'll actually be done. So it's basically a 5-lap event for the home and the back straight. And as they come by, make sure to welcome them into our family here at the track and make a lot of noise for them, since we're hoping this is the beginning of a long career of having some fun here at the Velodrome. Nice job. Great lap. Our rider on the front here, it's going to be Keshav that's going to be finishing first for his team on the back. Adela coming around with the neon helmet. Yeah. Her team can't even catch her. She's so fast on the opening lap. All right, she's going to go pull up along the track. Nice job, Adela. Right to form. Keshav does the same. Nice job. All right, so it's not going to be Javi taking it on the home team, so he's over there in turn 1 and 2. Got that nice green helmet on with the green bike, too. Gotta love the green bike. And here coming on the home straight now is the backside team is going to be Cody at the lead. Here comes Cody coming by on the finish line. Woo!
And women riders, your Keirins are next. Let's get to the warm-up circle.
So the kids on the front are going to finish in about another 100 meters or so. And all that effort here from our riders that are finishing up. Cody pulls up on the back straight, and here comes Javi getting the signal to pull to the right. Nice job for Javi. Nice work. Ooh, big acceleration for Molly as she's off and takes the lead spot. Posey is the rider leading the other half of the field here, coming out of turn 4. Nice job for Posey leading it out. She will finish up on that back straight here shortly. Now coming onto the home straight, our home team, it's Molly at the front, going to be finishing up on this lap. Nice job. Ion at the front for the home side. Our rider in the big blue jersey there. And coming back onto the home side of things, it'll be the back straight team, being led by Julia. Julia getting some love from the home team. Yeah. Looking very good on the pedal motion there. Nice and smooth. Both Ion and Julia will be finishing up shortly. Coming on the home straight is Ion, making a nice sprint to finish it. Koji takes over. 1 to go, Koji, 1 to go. He's like, oh, yeah. Woo. Nice acceleration. And that's going to be Keegan taking the lone lap for the back straight team. Keegan getting lots of help from the home straight here. Yeah. Boy, our teams are neck and neck. Look at these kids go. They're making it competitive, too. Women riders to the staging area, please. Women riders to the staging area. If you're not already over there, please make your way. Oh, look how close this is going to be. Whoa! That's about as tight as it can get for some junior competitors. What an awesome job for our newest members to the track community. How about one more round of applause for Camp Velo graduates, our staff that helped them get here, and of course, Mom and Dad for signing them up. Thank you very much. And welcome. How fun is that? Those riders will make their way into the safer part of the track here. We'll get you down and out on the home straight here in a moment. Nice job. Heat 1 for the women is Amara Edwards, Kelly Darlene, Lucy Gilchrist, Kelly Please, Catherine Wade Easley, I believe a no-show tonight. Heat 2 on deck is Danny Scoville, Annette Williams, Leah Holslander, Emily Alexander, and Becca Book. Keirin's coming up. All right, so coming up now is the Keirin Heats. Riders that finish at the front of these fields will qualify for racing again later in the Keirin Finals. We have 2 heats in our women field. Heat 1 just about ready to start. Heat 2 should be on deck and getting ready to go. Our first heat about ready to start. Moto on its way. Now exiting the turn. Riders ready. A 4-lap race at a qualifying race. So finish at the front and race again for top places. In about 2.5 laps, that red lead bike is going to pull out of the way, and then the race is left to the riders to figure it out. Until then, they cannot cross the back wheel, as it is the pacer. It's going to set the speed for this group and bring them up to speed. We will take 3 riders from these 2 heats for a final field of 6. So in this case, it's 1 will miss out. It's Amara Edwards in the first position. Kelly Darlene in second wheel. Lucy Gilchrist is the 3rd rider, and I believe that's going to be Kelly Please making out the 4th of this group. On deck is Heat 2. The last half lap now with the lead bike. It'll pull off on the back straight in about 150 meters. And the moto is now out of the way. It's up to our field to race it out. It's still Edwards at the front. 3 riders make it in. On the bell lap, coming out of the corner now, it's Edwards on the front. Darlene, second wheel. A little bit of patience here. It's 3 make it in. So conservation so far, not anyone coming through turns 1 to 2. It's still Edwards on the front. Darlene looking over her right-hand shoulder, waiting for someone to make the attack around her. Edwards will take the front position and just make the move first. Darlene accelerating and now overtaking the wheel. It's going to be Darlene accelerating into the front spot. Lucy Gilchrist coming side by side with Edwards, and now it's going to be 3 riders fanning out around the corner. Gilchrist, Darlene, and please look to make it in to the final. Second heat now on the track. 3 more riders to join in the final for the women. Danny Scoville, the rider in the orange helmet, is at the front position. Annette Williams behind her. And again, out of this field, 2 will miss the cut to join in our field of 6. On deck, our first heat for the Cat 1-2 men should be getting set to go. Number 205, Hulslander in the middle of the field. Emily Alexander is the 4th rider. Becca Book, the 5th competitor in the lineup. The starting order is set before the race starts, so they are not competing for that first position at the initial set of the race. They are allowed to make some swaps once they kind of get set in the first bit of that first lap. After that, they are open to make changes if they wish. Most of our fields here at the Velodrome tend to keep it pretty much how they draw the position. Scoville drew position 1 and will be the first rider in the field as the lead bike will pull to the left here in just a moment, giving them that 1.5 laps of racing action for the field. 3 riders advance. 2 will not make the cut here to join our final field. And the bike is out of the way. The pacer, I should say. It is now Scoville leading things out. Williams on her wheel. Williams the winner in the first race for this field. Getting the bell. It's 1 to go. 3 to advance. Scoville going to go ahead and hold on to that front position and continues to just drive the pace. We know this one's got a fast turn of speed, and she pulls it out all the way through turns 1 and 2. It's Becca Book accelerating to the front of this field. All the way from the back of the group, and a huge acceleration before anybody can respond. She is well ahead of the field now. Becca Book makes a nice sprint and will be able to advance, it looks like, to the finals. Who will join her? It looks like it's going to be Scoville and Williams that do enough to hold on and make their advance into the finals.
And I think we're trying to do some technical stuff, Zach, if you could, juggle or stall for a minute. You can't juggle? We're trying to get some awesome live stream angles with the camera on the back so you can smile, Nolan. You can wave your mom. She would really love that. The GoPro is going to be getting on the bike so you can wave right at her. Installing it now. We know we need those glamour shots. Exactly. All right, looks like Scott's getting the wave. Going to roll out, Scott. Scott's our e-bike driver. I will say, for having driven it, once you get over like 28 miles an hour, you really got to work. It's a workout for that last half lap.
Hey, Mara, where did you get the bike from?
The bike's from our Greg's Cycle.
I guess we had a wireless mic problem there. But Greg Cycles, one of our great sponsors. You can look over in corner 2 for their sign as they're just now going underneath it. One of our great sponsors for many years here at the track. They've helped us with everything from financial support to helping us with our equipment needs, because they provide fantastic bike deals. They are fantastic service and repair technicians that work there. If you have any bike needs, make sure to take it to Greg Cycles. They will take care of you. Our thanks once again for being a sponsor here in 2021. The Cat 1-2 men first heat underway. Now the stakes get a little bit harder in these fields because we got 3 groups. We only advanced 2 from each of them. So there's going to be 3 riders cut in this process and only 2 advance. Start list for the women's Keirin has been posted to the live link. Again, you can go velodrome.org/live to find that link. If you're on the infield and want to check, you can go there and make sure that it looks accurate to you once your racing has wrapped up. Nolan Adams is the first rider in this group, number 11. He's followed by number 20, Eric Waterman. 27 is Alex Siegel. I got Kenny Williams, number 2. The next rider, number 31, is Mike Darlene. 5 riders in this group. 2 move on. He too should definitely be ready to go here, as this is going to be over awfully fast. The pace is quick coming into turn 3 as the lead bike is pulled off, and it is now up to the field to settle it. Nolan Adams still at the front edge of this thing. 2 riders advance. Nolan's got the front, looking over that right shoulder, saying, "Who's coming?" Waterman still following him here, almost overlapping the wheel and about ready to take it over, but not yet ready to make the big sprint. It'll be our rider for the Broadmark Realty team in the white, making an acceleration out of turn 2 and down into that back straight flat. Alex Siegel, the Dirty Bird, is taking flight. Siegel. It's Siegel. Okay. Just making sure. Alex Siegel and Nolan Adams, I believe, the first 2 across the line, and they'll advance. I promise he told me that was his nickname. I didn't come up with that. I have permission to come up with bad nicknames like that, but I didn't. All right, here comes heat 2. The moto's getting the signal. Heat 3 for the Cat 1-2 men is up next. Heat 3 on deck. And the race now underway. Ludamax, number 38, is the rider compelled to take the first wheel, and he'll do so. The Laser is the second rider in the group, that orange helmet. We also got Ryan Rustvold, number 28, the third rider in the group. Andrew Karlberg is number 4 in the lineup, and he's wearing number 1. Matty Hers, the 5th rider, and 6th in this field, Steven Wilsons. 2 riders advance. Again, the stakes quite a bit higher. Harder to get into that finals group out of these heats. Our pacer bringing it up to speed here. Everybody got the same lineup as they drew. No change in position yet. Ludamax, the rider that will be the lead of this group. The pacer pulls out of the way as our field's been gradually and comfortably brought up to speed. Ludamax will even do a little bit more work here to speed things up. Henry, leaving a little bit of gap between them as the bell rings. Not a lot of hesitation in this field. We're pretty much up to speed now as Ludamax is driving it pretty quick. I think he's just doing a big effort here as he knows he's about to be overtaken, and it's going to be a tough ride for him as first rider to come around the outside is going to be Henry with a nice acceleration. In comes Karlberg, though, with the counterpunch, and certainly one for the Keirins is Karlberg. It'll be Matty Hers riding another great race here tonight in the Keirin qualifier. He'll make it in as well. Hers and Karlberg coming across the line second and first, respectively. One more heat for the Cat 1-2s. Cat 3s. It's about your turn. First heat for the Cat 3 men is Cal Spranger, Carl Pratis, Gene Wainwright, Pierce Snoblin, David Mullen, Adam Leopold. Been away from the live stream folks for a little bit here, but good interactions going on there. We've got one field about ready to start as the pacer is coming out of turn 4. And off they go. Our final heat, 2 more riders to move into that final group. It's fun to see some of our family members of the recent Camp Velo grads checking in on YouTube and saying congratulations to the kids. You can go rewatch Friday night races after the racing has concluded by going to our YouTube channel. Just search for the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. Our channel officially, JB Velodrome. And all of our Friday night races are posted there for your viewing pleasure. The first rider in the lineup here, Nick Martinez, followed by number 32, Carl Hofer. Matt Haldeman, Haldy's the third rider in the group. Andrew Pryhuber is the fourth wheel, the black and green. Vern Cole, also black and green, is right behind him, the fifth rider in the group, number 19. And finally, Brando Russell, number 6. In the dark green is the sixth rider. 2 riders to join our final crew. After this race, shortly after it, we will post onto the live link the final start list. Half lap left with the moto. Martinez not unfamiliar with being at the front of a field. If you recall how he raced that split scratch, he doesn't mind that position, although he's being a little bit more guarded now, as he, instead of going for a full-out effort, is looking over the right shoulder, trying to make the track a little bit shorter before the sprint starts. Still waiting and guarding the front spot as they hit the finish line. Martinez continues to watch his right shoulder. He's at about 80% or so right now. He could still accelerate quite a bit. And now you can see the effort starting to pick up a little bit as he knows that the field is starting to charge down. And now you can really see him in his efforts. It's going to be Brando Russell. What a turn of speed he has from the back of the field. Can Martinez hold off the charge from the rest of this group? He just needs to make it in the top 2. It'll be Russell flying out around the field, says, yep, got it. And Martinez holds on from the front with a very strong 400-meter effort there. Coming out to the track now, our first heat for Cat 3 men. On deck is the second heat. Jacob Tung, David Branson, Austin Hildreth, Kelly Darlene, Team Pierce, Itai Malakoff, and Don Wells are on deck. We will get to see all these fields represented by their top 6 again after we get through all the qualifiers. We will start with the women's final, and then it will be Cat 1, 2, and then the Cat 3. We'll go in the same order as our qualifiers, so you want to stick around for that. Currently starting now again will be this first heat for the Cat 3 men, and the pace is about to be set here by our moto. They are off and away. Cal Spranger is number 332 in the first rider in this group. Second wheel, Carl Paredes, number 304. Gene Wainwright, number 312. Peter Snoblin, 303. 323 is David Mullen, the fifth rider in the group in blue. And then finally, Adam Leopold, number 326, makes up the sixth rider in the group. Once again, to advance into this final. The stakes are high in these qualifiers. Great time here in the qualifiers before we get into the finals. You're not going to want to miss them. You can go put in your order over Jessica's Unique Bite for your burger and fries. Other great condiments and sides are also orderable there. You can pick up a cold refreshment as well. Glad to have food service back and working again here in our, I guess now our second month of racing that we've been back here in 2021. Slowly but surely, things are returning to normal, as it will be hopefully within a few weeks that we will also hear word that the beverage garden will open up once again. Post stock, right outside of the park, actually. If you're looking from the home straight, if you just look through those trees over there, you're kind of looking right at them over on that direction. And Locust Cider providing our beverages. And those will be coming in the next couple of weeks. We will post and email that out once those have opened up so everybody knows that they can come out and enjoy a beverage. And as they do so, also support the track. Our thanks to Locust Cider and Poststock Brewing for their partnership. Down the back straight, Cal Springer is now the one in the guarding position. Peter Snowblend does not know slow. He decides to go right now from the middle of the group and takes the lead away. He'll just have the lead out position as the bell's ringing. One to go. It's only 2 riders to advance. A big counter from Carl Pratis, who found himself a wheel down. He says, no way, I'm going to lead this lap, as he's got a very good 400-meter finish. The Jerry Baker Jr. is represented by the speedster here. If he can put an effort like that together into the final, go look out for this guy. Who's going to join him, though? I'm watching a rider behind Snowblend starting to get into position. Will it be Cal Springer? Looks like it will be. 3-3-2, unofficially our second rider across the line. Carl Pratis, several bike lengths out, will advance. Heat 2 coming on track, and on deck is the third heat. Joe Springer, Isaac Jurassic, Z-Dog Peterson, Ken Dong, David Bryan, Brett Seahorn, and John Levi. Heat 3 is on deck. And the moto's on its way. Second heat now on track and about ready to find who's the next 2 to join the finals field. Jacob Tung will be the rider to take the front of it, number 307, as he, again, has that position before the race started. Number 318 is David Branson, takes that second wheel spot. Austin Hildreth is 320. He's the third rider in the group in the dark and light blue. Kelly Darlene is number 101 with the tan disc wheel, fourth rider in the group. Tim Pierce, number 327, is the fifth rider. Itai Malikoff is the sixth. And Don Wells, number 308, makes up the back end of this group of 7. 5 riders get cut from the final. Another lap and a half of acceleration from the moto. We call it the moto, it's the e-bike. The e-bike pacer. Stayers race coming up pretty soon, too. After all these finals are wrapped up for the Keirins, we'll be calling up our juniors for the Stayers race. Look forward to that. That'll be a fun event coming up after the Keirins are all finished. Half lap more of acceleration as Scott's getting his working out tonight, leading our fields around. It'll be Jacob Tong still at that front position. Watch for the white helmet to be at the lead of this field as he continues to keep on pace and not surrender that spot nor slow down the field. Jacob looking over the right shoulder, as we've seen many riders do tonight. Continue to watch for the acceleration from the field, who's starting to wedge out a little bit, looking for their lane. Things are bunching up a little bit as now Jacob accelerates as he sees David Branson coming to view, number 318, but not enough to overtake him. Branson will now slot down to the sprinter's lane and try to take the draft. Things stretching out a little bit down the back straight. It's still Jacob Tung putting in an impressive effort from the front. Reminding me a little bit of Martinez's effort not too long ago. Can anyone come around the top of him? It's still Jacob at the lead of this thing. Oh, Branson trying to hold on to the speed. Here comes Austin Hildreth for an acceleration. Jacob Tung and Hildreth. Whoa. Branson and Darlene were accelerating and finding their place, but it was Hildreth with the biggest turn of speed in the final meters, and enough, I believe, to clinch a position in those finals. Our final qualifying event, Heat 3 for the Cat 3 men. On deck, the women finals? I say with a question mark. Okay, it is the juniors unknown scratch. So that's why they're on the warm-up circle. I speak too quickly. Our moto's on the way. On deck, juniors for the unknown scratch, getting up on that warm-up circle. Checking in on our Facebook friends as well. I see some folks asking about the length of our track, and that's a good chance to remind, if you're here in person too, you may not know this, that we're on a larger format of track than you might see in general. 250 to 333 is a pretty common length. This is a 400-meter track. Same length as if you were running a lap at your high school. Track and field sort of a scenario. Feels big for Velodrome riders, but we love it here. It's the big gentle giant of the Pacific Northwest. Less bank in the corners as a result, too. So it's a great place to learn, as I mentioned earlier, a good place to take a track class. Whether you're an adult or a junior, we've got a class you can come out here and take a spin on the gentle giant, learn what it feels like to race a track bike and feel the pull of the corners and acceleration as you come down the hill into the flats. It's a fun experience that you may want to try. You can do so by heading to the website and finding a class that fits your schedule. Repositioning happening here as it looks like Brett Seahorn might be nominating himself for a front spot. Likely not going to be contested as Joe will back off and say, sure thing, you got it. Also see some the fam of the Sprangers coming and tuning in and cheering on as we got the Cat 3s have two of them in here. We got Joe in this field, and earlier was Cal Spranger competing. So checking in on the family and giving some love from the Facebook stream, which you can tune into now if you want to check out the view from there, or if you want to share it with family and friends. You can head to velodrome.org/live to get that, pick it up, give it a thumbs up, and share away. We'd appreciate the help. Check out what's happening now, though, as it's Brett Seahorn leading this field on the bell. Two more riders to join the finals. Who will it be? Joe Spranger, the second rider in the group, waiting for someone to come up in position. Ken Dong going to make a little bit of a move here in a big sprint from the middle of the field. He's watched what happened a couple fields ago. If I just sprint right out of turn 2, he watched Becca Book and said, I can do that move. But the counterpunch here from Jurassic, it might be enough. As Isaac has a big acceleration from the field, it will be enough to maybe join in with Ken Dong. Two riders advance. We may have already found it. Ken's looking around and says, yep, just got to hold on. All right, 302 and 301, fittingly enough, find their way into our finals. And that corner 1 acceleration, that's a good trick there. Junior is coming out for the unknown distance here in just a moment. In the neutral for an unknown scratch race, the juniors field. Unknown distance means exactly what it sounds like. We don't know how long these guys are going to be racing for. Our bell ringer knows. That's about it. Will's in the position of power right now, holding the bell when it's time for the race to end. Everybody else here, including myself, we have no idea. When it's over, there will be a bell at 1 to go. That'll be the indicator that the race is ending. Generally, this results in fairly conservative racing from most riders because the risks seem too great if you're not sure when it's going to end. So it's all about readiness and positioning at just about any time in the race. But who knows? Maybe there's a junior rider in here that wants to get a little bit spunky with it and take a risk somewhere in the race. Just guess where it is. About ready to start with the sound of the whistle. All right, racing underway. Give our juniors some help here, folks, on their first lap. Who knows how long they'll be out here for, so you got to clap for them if you see him go by. Hey, I'm talking about spunky right away. It's Ben Jurassic decides to take a lap 1 attack. Maybe it's going to be 2 laps long. I don't know. The bell did not ring wide away, so it's going to be more than 1 lap of racing. So Ben accelerates quickly, didn't get the bell. He says, yeah, okay, that was fun. Now I'll go up to that rail. Let's bring it back together again. JC Pyle follows the wheel. up to the rail and then back down to the sprinter's lane as they reaccelerate themselves. 1 lap completed and no bell ringing. On deck, we're going to get into the Keirin finals, starting with the women. Unknown amount of time before you need to be ready, so be ready. Field riding nice and wide here. Everyone's taking their opportunity to slow back down after a couple fast early laps. I think Ben was hoping for a short race, or if nothing else, just warming it back up again, getting ready for what may be a sprint. Will's hands are, they're playing with the rope. They're on the bell. If anybody's watching his hands for a cue, he's not going to give you none. He's not going to give you none. Okay, my high school English teacher is very disappointed in me. I'll go back to grade school and try again. Down the back straight, it's going to be Ben Jurassic again making an attack and hoping this might be the last lap. He'll open up a bit of a gap for himself here. Feeling stronger than his competitor. He says, I don't want to ride with this. I'm just going to go at my own speed. Getting into his drops now, a nice and comfortable position, not even holding into the drops. You can see his arms kind of dangling over the bars. That's a pretty common position for riders when if you watch like a time trial, they'll put on bars that kind of allow their arms to sit in that position. It's a pretty good way to ride when you want to go distance. You want to be in a consistent pace. So that's what we're seeing from the young rider here as he kind of settles in for an effort. No bell yet as Jurassic continues on his effort. The field losing some ground, but it's still our leader doing a good job here opening up the distance on the rest of the field as Ben's putting on a nice effort here tonight. The field has already, I think, they did the math. They ran the numbers. They went to the consultants and said, can we catch him? And I think they came back conclusively, probably not. So they're going to race against each other. As Ben says, I'll go get first place whenever the bell rings. And the race for second is now on in this field. Well, that is a good night to be in the hot air balloon. That's a good view up there. Very nice. Still no bell as the field comes by. Obviously, the leader came by earlier. You would have heard the bell, I'd imagine. Field rolling on through. Will still got his fingers on the rope, but nope. The clang is not coming. The effort must keep going. Can he catch them? They don't look like they don't want to be caught. Let's just put it that way. He's staring on the back of the field. He might as well go get it. Essentially what this will do is put the field down a lap. It doesn't really change too much, but it means he doesn't have to sprint if he catches them. He can just be the winner. I guess he didn't have to before either, but this will kind of make it a little bit straighter in the books. Will he catch? I think he's gonna. Okay, he's cruising in. All right, there he is. He's up a lap. Nice job. And there's the bell. Really. All right. Jurassic's up the lap and is practically our winner. It's going to be JC Pyle making the first move out of the field. And the counter move coming here. Can JC recover? Coming out of the turn, it looks like not. Great move here. Who can catch? Nobody's able to make the move to catch onto the wheel. Oh, what a great attack here. I believe, I couldn't see the number over here. Jack Hampson for Tritech is the rider there that picked it up. out of the field, which will be good for second place. Our winner, of course, Ben, catching the field, lapping everybody, will be the winner. Nicely done for the juniors. The Keirin finals are coming now out onto the track, starting with the women. On deck, Cat 1-2 men Keirin final, followed by the Cat 3 men Keirin final. 3 finals in a row. And that'll be the last of our Keirins for the evening. Our featured race tonight, the Keirin finals and the fast finish and the sprinting, about to get very exciting here in our next 3 races. Our women now coming up to the rail to get set. In the front position, it's going to be Lucy Gilchrist drawing the first spot. Kelly Darlene, our second rider. Danny Scoville, the third. That's going to be 3 Jerry Baker Jr. team riders right in a row. Annette Williams, the 4th rider. Becca Book, number 5 in the lineup. And I got Kelly Please for the Apex Racing team as the 6th rider in our women final. The moto gets the signal and then rolls on out. This is for the top 6 places. This is no longer a qualifier. This will indeed settle the podium for the Keirin. Pacer exiting the turn. Riders ready. Our final for the women, off and away. And Lucy, compelled to take the spot, will do so. She's the first rider there behind the e-bike. Hey, if you're having a good time tonight, just as a reminder, we do this every week, and it looks like the next couple Fridays are going to be pretty awesome. So you probably will not be hearing about any rain cancellations for a bit. 7 p.m. on a Friday night. Come join us again for the big show. We'll be here out in the beautiful backyard of King County. It's Marymore Park, our good friends and partners for many, many years since the opening of this Velodrome in 1975. We've been working with King County Parks to bring racing and cycling education to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that's right. Always under the operation of the Marymore Velodrome, almost since its inception. The Marymore Velodrome Association, I should say. Lucy still right there at the front again. Kelly, the second rider. They'll be the front edge of this thing. We saw the fast kick from Becca in her field. That's the 5th rider in the group. That's going to be something to watch. All the riders got to see that in action. We've seen Annette Williams already win a race tonight from the front of the field with great speed. She's able to finish these races as well. So I'm watching the 4th and the 5th wheel in this group, but don't forget, these juniors can mix it up as well. Danny Scoville, a very fast finisher. We saw that in her qualifier, the rider in the orange helmet. Let's see how this one plays out. Apex cheering on Kelly Please, the rider that drew the final spot there. And the top 3 positions about to be found out here. This is going to be the bell lap as the moto takes the left-hand turn, and now it is Kelly Darlene compelling herself to move to the front. Lucy says, I don't want to lose this position yet. She'll start to accelerate, but the whole field is trying to take over her position. It'll be Darlene coming downhill onto the home straight. Darlene at the front of this thing. It's 1 to go. We saw this move before. Can she do it again? Becca's trying to accelerate some from the right side of this group. May it be enough? Darlene's trying to hold on. Becca's got plenty of speed coming into the flat, though. Will she take the front? She's got the room to do so. Annette Williams marking her a little bit through the move. Can she get away from this? Williams in a great spot, and here's the other kid I called out, is Scoville in a good spot. Can she find the speed? That's what we thought might happen. It's going to be 3 women coming to the line. Whoa, Williams, Book, and Scoville. The national champion, Annette Williams, takes it. Nicely done for the women. This will be the Cat 1-2 men Keirin final coming up to the track now. Brandon Russell, the rider that draws the first position. Behind him, we got Alex Siegel in the white. Nolan Adams for Dyna Racing is the 3rd rider. Oh, yeah. Keller Rohrbach is represented by Matty Hers, the 4th rider in the lineup. Then I got Andrew Carlberg and Nick Martinez is 5 and 6 at the back there in the white. The only one that knows this is a show is Nolan Adams. So if you don't know who to cheer for him. We got a crowd here, darn it. The moto's on the way. And the whistle signals it's time to go. Top positions in this podium on the line after 4 laps. If you want to check out more racing action, or you have other plans during the week to come check out the park in the evening, we do also race on other nights. We're generally here every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday are free for spectators. They are smaller, more casual events, less riders, a little bit more lax. But if you're here and you want to come watch something, we invite you to come on into the Velodrome. This is a public facility, and we'd love for you to come in and watch it. It's only Friday night that we kind of branded as our main show. But again, if you're kind of curious and want to check it out, we also host racing on Saturdays and Sundays occasionally. They are canceled for this weekend because of the heat. You may check the calendar on our website at velodrome.org/calendar to be able to get a look at the full schedule for this year. Racing to continue all the way into the first week of September. That's our general regular season. Because the rest of the year, it's, you know, the monsoon season. So we don't race when it's raining here. Start to accelerate our Cat 1-2 men. It will be very soon here where the race is going to be in their hands as our moto will be pulling out of the way. It's Brando Russell, the rider in the dark green, that will lead this thing out, number 6. We'll see if he holds on to that spot. I suspect so. Right behind him, Alex Siegel. This is a whole lot of sprinters. I got basically 3 really fast finishers, and then I got 3 kind of more, I would say, out of the field sprinters. So we got 2 sets of skills here. Brando Russell, I think, kind of falls into the latter. He's going to be at the front of this thing now. He'll have to hold on to the front as the bell's ringing. Nick Martinez takes off to get to the front. And the big fast finisher in this field is Andrew Karlberg with probably the quickest 200-meter time we've got around here, and he'll put it to show tonight. He came here ready to win this race. Off and away he goes. It's going to be a race for second behind him, but Andrew Karlberg just cleans up here. The race behind him for second place is Alex Siegel, making a nice acceleration. It'll be Siegel besting Russell by about a bike. And the king of speed today for our Cat 1-2 men, Karlberg, with a great showing in the Keirin. Everybody's got so used to the victory lap. I guess it's nice. Rachel Spain says, good job for the Broadmark teams represented. 3 riders in the final, so Rachel's at home cheering you guys on. Nicely done in the Keirin final for our Cat 1-2 men. And up next here, the Cat 3 is about ready to start. There's the sign for the moto. Ken Dong is position number 1. Looking down at the, he's looking at his speed. He's checking to make sure they're ready, that the legs are ready to go. Cal Springer is the second rider in the lineup. Jacob Tung, number 3. Austin Hilsbreth is the 4th rider. I'm having a hard time seeing who's our junior there. That's Carl Pratis. There he is. And that's going to be Isaac Jurassic. Here comes our start. It's great to get an up-close view of our riders there on the stream. And, of course, if you're on the home straight, you got the best view with the Keirin as these guys are rolling around. Get to see them as they line up. Ken Dong going to be the front rider there. We'll watch. He had a great sprint in his qualifier. Kind of that move out of turn 1 we saw. So we'll be watching him for his fast finish. Carl Pratis with a dominating move from the front as well. Isaac's been very quick in his field tonight. A couple of different skill sets. Again, I think our true sprinters are going to be the first rider and the 5th rider. So they're going to look to make quick accelerations and try to just dominate the field by their impressive acceleration and top speed. Generally, the true sprinters appreciate a little slower speed before they start, as they're going to be able to take advantage of that quick jump up to speed. That quick twitch that they've built up and developed over their training. The second rider in the group, Spranger, is going to be set to go as well. He's going to be, again, that rider in the black, the second in the group. Jacob Tung, the third rider with that white helmet. He won his qualifier, basically, or second place in his qualifier, just by riding from the front all the way around. We'll see how he chooses to play this from the middle of the field. Juniors and Stairs, it's time. Your Stairs partners we need to get jerseyed up and readied. It looks like most of you are already doing so, but if you have not yet found your partner to get the jerseys on, it's time as you're about ready to start. Whoa, okay. So I called him a true sprinter. He does exactly what the true sprinters want to do. Slow it down. Ken Dong pulls up to the right. As the bell's ringing, he's going to wait for somebody to make the move around him. As the field is following Ken's wheel, he says, okay, I only got 400 meters. I'm just going to try to sprint this thing now. So Ken Dong getting down into his effort. This is going to be a hard place to win from as the field's starting to reaccelerate around Ken as he's losing that lead spot now. Here comes the junior. Carl Pratis in a good position. Can he come out of the field? Spranger down the sprinter's lane has the shorter distance, but it looks like Carl Pratis is coming for his win. Pratis over Hillsbreath by a distance there, about half a wheel. Nice. Exciting race for the Cat 3 men, making it quick. Excellent. Keirin Racing for all tonight. That was our featured race, and isn't that a fun one? How about a quick round of applause for Scott? Yeah! And all of our athletes, of course. Oh, man. Very good. Yeah, mainly Scott. All right. Coming up next, we've got our stayer race. We've got some partner teams for juniors, and some adult riders are going to be partnering up to make two-person teams. Those teams need to be jerseyed up so that we can clearly tell that you are partnered with somebody, and then be on that warm-up circle. We're going to get you started here as soon as we see you all ready to go. Stairs race coming on out in a moment. Time to move. If you're not on your way over, it looks like a lot just joined the warm-up circle, so please hustle to the staging area if you can. Thank you. Mike Ritter calling out the rail camera being a good view. Thanks, Amara, for being our camera person. If anybody's bored at home and wants to, spend a Friday night holding a camera, I can give you one. We've got the ability to do so. Nice. They're getting some fist bumps. We're getting a little bit of the latency over in the corner there. There we go. Team's giving some love. Nice. Yeah, we're just barely out of range over in that corner, it looks like, so. Darn. But getting our team set to go, we're going to have teams of two that are going to be competing together. Essentially, the junior is going to be playing tag along for most of the race. We'll kind of explain it as they get set, as you'll see that action getting started during the neutral. You'll get a sense of it pretty quickly. Our stairs race is about ready to start. All right, so off we go for the stairs race. So here's the thing. You can tell the teams pretty quickly based on the colors. If they're matching colors, they're on a team. Now, most of the race, you'd imagine the elder rider will be the one doing the work, and that's true. But the scoring is based on where the kid goes across that finish line. So if the big rider drops the little rider, that ain't good. So as hard and as fast as you might want to go, the stairs race is about being together and timing that effort as a team. The junior will be the one that is scored, and oftentimes They might even come around the top of their partner at the end if they would like to be in as best a position as possible. A little bit of separation here in our fields. I think they're kind of still working out where to be. Officials say, get together. Everybody's kind of getting used to this, so we're going to give you one more lap in the neutral, it looks like. One more lap in the neutral to get together. Figuring things out. As soon as these riders change their jerseys, I have about 10 times as hard of a time telling who I'm looking at. So I'm mostly going to be calling out team by color, and as I recognize riders, I'll do my best to also announce who these riders are as they're going by. But there is no points to keep track of. It's essentially a race for the finish line. Looks like they've gotten together. If they stay in this sort of formation, I would suspect they'll get the whistle here shortly. All right, and off we go. Oh, geez. Geez. What? Joe, I think, is Team Hot Pink. I think that's Joe Sprager. I think he's barely over the age requirement to be a stayers partner. I'm just kidding. And I believe that his partner is Ben Jurassic. Okay. He said, you lapped your juniors field before. What if I lap the stairs field? Let's go. Fun. We'll see if they can do it. Go get it back, they say. Come on. They saw 9 to go. Our leaders have 9 laps remaining to go catch the back of this field, or at least stay away from them. They still win if they do that. Let's be honest. Yeah, I saw someone on the stream also pointing out whoever picked Snowby as their partner's been paying attention. Watts for days. So maybe they're going to get to work in the field here pretty soon and maybe try to start bringing this thing back. As right now, it's Team Pink just saying, yeah, you know what? We could do this. We can do this all day. Team Blue at the front end of this thing trying to pull the field back into action. Right before things start, you kind of have this conversation with the young rider. Make sure that you communicate during the race, because if you're riding away from them, you're doing them no favors. So there's got to be some level of verbal communication in the race between the pairs. Right now, it's still Joe doing his effort with Ben comfortably in the draft. It's like, man, last time I had to do this, it was me at the front. Now I get to draft with Joe. It's great. Still Team Blue doing the work to catch. With us, Carl Hofer partnered up in the Team Blue colors. Joe getting some help from the infield. They're still rolling here. Saw 6 to go. Team Green having to reconfigure themselves a little bit, it looks like. I have to say that the gap opened quickly, but it is kind of closing from the looks of it. But that is also causing quite a bit of stress in the field as teams are having to find each other. You notice if they don't communicate, you have these breaks between the adult and the kid, and then we got a problem. Spranger's still doing enough work to stay away from the field as he's kind of playing carrot on the stick now. I think this group's gotten the permission to speed up. So Hofer's starting to accelerate a little bit more. Team Black and Yellow is Carlberg is the elder in the pair with JC. I believe that's Snowblin and Indigo Vining, I think, are the 2 riders that make up the yellow and blue team. Still a nice gap here for Spranger, getting some help. And 4 to go. Still holding strong. Hofer's starting to smell blood in the water, though. These teams are starting to get broken up. And again, as these riders are communicating, it says, don't drop me. We got to stay together. If you listen closely, you hear them. Sometimes the kids will say, up, up, or down, as they kind of need the adjustment of speed. They say, you know what, I think I can handle a little bit more. Let's go. Pink's still away. I hate to say it, or maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure who I'm rooting for. But the distance is starting to close, but blue team's starting to feel the pain. Hofer's got to readjust. Nolan Adams helping out Team Orange and starting to bring together sort of a back group here that will become 3 teams. But I think he's going to continue to carry on through, actually. But looking at the front of the race right now is the pink team still. And I think they've, because of the blue teams lost a little steam, they've opened the distance up again. They got 2 to go. Carlberg and JC Pyle are the next closest team in the black and yellow under the Broadmark sign. Then it's Team Blue in the chase behind them. Then it's orange, yellow, and blue and yellow that make up kind of our main field that's now under the Greg Cycle sign. But looking again, we still have our eye on these leaders as they continue to roll very effectively here. And there it is, Team Pink. 1 to go. Carlberg starting to accelerate with JC Pyle here as they're getting the bell. Can he find his way up there? We'll see. And the bell also ringing for this field. Team Orange is the next closest team now as they pass blue. We'll take our eyes back to the finishers here. They're about to catch a couple. We'll see. They're being called to go up here, guys. Look out. Okay, maybe not. Team Pink's coming in hot, and I think they're going to get it either way. 1 more to go here for our light blue team. Team Pink are winners, and here comes the black and yellow squad to pick up second. Yeah! JC Pyle, everybody. And whoa! We're watching the kids, and I think it's orange squad with a little bit better finish there. Again, we score based on where the junior crosses the line. Couple more juniors to finish here, kids. Let's make some noise for them here. Nice job for everybody wrapping up tonight in the fun stairs race. Thank you. 1 more. Here we go. Nice racing tonight. All right, coming onto the track now, we've got our women. It's a scratch race. I've just been told that we have the okay to give 2 preems in each of these races for $5 each. So some special lap prizes, $5 on each of those laps. The bell will come from the announcer. This is a very straightforward race format, folks. It says 15 to go. At the end of it, there'll be a bell at 1 to go, and then the first rider across the line wins. When you think of a race, I think that's what you think of. Fastest rider wins. About ready to start out of the neutral here momentarily, and then we'll get this scratch race underway. Again, 2 preems in each of these scratch races to come from the announcer, $5 a piece. Whistle, and the race is underway. The best news of the week is that somehow my announcer bell just showed up back in my office as like somebody had stolen it and just returned it anonymously or something. So I can finally ring the bell again after 2 years of waiting. The excitement has been building up. That's also true. We'll be close enough to the mic that our stream will also be able to pick that up. So that's kind of nice. We'll be able to hear those 2 preem laps. Indeed. Riders getting lined up here in the early laps. It's long enough that There's no incentive mid-race besides some extra cash. So usually $5 will pick you up a drink in the beverage garden after racing is over. So it's like the perfect premium amount for just that little extra incentive. But unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. Maybe they can put it in the stash and hold on to it for a couple more weeks and reward themselves when they when post-stock and Locust ciders are allowed to be poured here in the park again. As long as things keep on course that they've been going on the last couple of weeks, we expect that announcement soon. Danny Scoville at the front of the field for the women. Leah Holslander, the second rider, number 205, takes the front. Don't forget, it's a pretty straightforward process if you two want to get okay to race. These are riders that come from mostly the local community. These are folks that just work around in the greater Seattle area. Sometimes we get riders from Bellingham, from Portland, from across the mountains. We're the only track in the state and really in the Northwest at the moment. So riders will come from our region if they need to race. But these are riders that have decided to make a sport out of it, and they started with something as simple as a class like we offer, and then began working up and racing and having fun on the weeknights. If you think that might be something that you want to try out, the best way to start it is with an adult track class. It's a 4-hour class you can sign up for, offered frequently on Saturdays or Sundays. Sign up for the 4 hours. During that time, you will get a track bike from us. It's included in the $40 fee, plus all the instruction you need to start racing on a beginner night. So you can come out here, you'll get more coaching, small fields, other beginners, so you get all the information and support you need. It's designed for people that know how to ride a bike but have never raced before. We will get you started and acclimated and feeling ready to go. And yes, as a good reminder, you do have to give us back the track bike after the adult class. You don't get a track bike for $40. Just in case anybody was getting any crazy ideas. Where can I sign up for those? You say, well, you just go to the website. It's the best domain in all of racing. It's velodrome.org, where you can sign up for the adult track classes today. Count down the lap cards together. Riders take their turns at the front. The hardest place to be, if you've ever been on a bike ride and you're at the front, you're the one doing the most work. So make someone else do it once in a while. That's what our riders do here about every 200 meters, generally on our track. If someone moves up faster than that, that means they are showing the field they're not wanting or willing to pull an equal amount of work, which will happen. So Edwards makes a mid-field acceleration here. I should say mid-race acceleration, as the field kind of sitting a little still for her tastes. Seeing 9 to go. Kelly, please, at the front. $8 to go. I got $5 to lead the lap. I got a $5 premium to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. At 8 to go, basically halfway through this race, we'll throw out our first preem. And a preem can be cash. It could be, sometimes we have donations that we get for different bike items and swag and fun stuff like that we'll give out. But a preem is just like a lap prize. Does anybody want $5 tonight? Kelly does. She'll like, sure, I can just kind of roll for it. I'll take it. Okay, here we go. Just waiting for the moment. Becca Book says, I'll take a quick payday. At least one other person is happy about that. Becca Book, our winner of the first preem. There's still another one to come. And I got another $5 to lead the lap at 6 to go. $5 to lap. $5 to lead the lap. Next lap around. 6 to go as they come across the line. One more preem. Cat 1-2 men should make their way to staging. It's time for you to get ready for your race. We got 2 more races tonight after this one. Cat 1-2 men and then the Cat 3 men for their scratch races with preems. Who's going to pick up the extra cash? Williams by a little bit there. Edwards going for it, and Williams says, yeah, no. And as everybody else is saying, whew, okay, that was a little fast. Hold on just a second. Becca Book says, nah, no waiting. Time to go. Distracted by $5, and Becca Book says, I've got to make the move now. Sees 4 to go. About a mile of racing left for Becca off the front of this thing now, as it's going to be Scoville and Williams trying to do work to catch back on. Becca, 3 to go on a lone effort. The field chasing down and starting to get organized. At first a bit disorganized as there was a bit of chaos in the response, but now 5 riders mostly together trying to take their turns catching Becca. She's within range that if we had a big sprint, she could suddenly find herself caught. So she continues to put quite a bit of power behind her pedals to hold on to this front position and not yield any ground to the chasing field. Only 2 to go. Becca still off the front. Scoville doing what she needs to do to keep it close. Emily Alexander will also be willing to do some work to pull this group up as the distance continues to close just a little bit each lap. Can Becca hold on as she's coming into the bell lap? The field accelerating almost enough to catch her before the bell. Will Becca be able to keep off the charge? Alexander maybe doing her a favor here, pulls up to the blue line and everyone else is willing to follow her. Becca still off the front. Can she hold on long enough? Give her some help here, folks. 1 to go, 1 to go. A nice move from Becca. Emily is almost forced back in the sprinter's lane. Nobody else wants to take this thing. That's not what Becca wanted. She wanted them to wait. But at this point, Alexander's still not able to get up there. Rider in black and green almost closing the distance here. And you can see in the field, that's going to be a big move all of a sudden as the riders are almost standing still for Darlene, but it's going to be Becca Book. Nobody made the move fast enough. Becca gets number 1. Darlene second. Williams third. Nice. The early attack pays off. And Becca will be our winner in the final race of the night for the women. Cat 1-2 men about ready to come on out here in just a moment. On deck, the last race of the night, Cat 3s. Cat 1-2s, there is 2 preems in the race again. $5 each. The Cat 1-2 men on their way for 30 laps of scratch racing. Steven Wilson's unaffected by the number 30, says, might as well go right now. Maybe I'll just win it right now, as everybody else says, this can't be a real move. This is nothing. That's not two of the, the best endurance riders we've got out here in the early season. No big deal. Oh, wait a second. Ludo Max joins in on the effort with Steven Wilson's. It is not a lone effort. This is a duo worth fearing. One lap has been completed, and already the very advantageous move here for our two leaders, as they will continue to look cooperative for a long time. That distance is almost 200 meters already, and you can kind of, again, if we're a 400-meter track, you can see the finish line on our side, and on the far side is the 200-meter line opposite us. So you can kind of see as the field is crossing that line, you'll see where our front riders are. That'll give you a sense about how far ahead they are. So now they're about 170 meters, 180 meters up on the field right now. So just under a half lap are our two riders in the front. Steven Wilson's the rider in the first position, number 25 in the light blue. And in the front of the field, that was Nick Martinez pulling up out of the way, with Kenny Williams now taking the front spot. And you can see that massive gap again, still being held. The field is not sitting still. They have organized pretty well. Everyone's taking their turn to have an effort, and the distance might have closed a couple meters here or there. Everybody's now in their efforts, though, trying to keep this race together. If they sit up again, the field will see these two continue to pull away from them. But as you notice now, look how far away they are from that 200-meter line. The back of the field's already past the finish line before they get there, so definitely closing down a little bit. Riders are definitely active at the front of the field, but not to say that Ludo and Steve here are not working hard to try to stay away from it. They continue to work as a duo. .26 to go. Henry pulls out of the way for Pryhuber there a moment ago to lead the field. It's still Wilson's and Max at the front of the race. Pryhuber about to give room to Haldy, who will take the front spot for the chasing field. It's Brando Russell there, number 6, the second rider now will take the front spot. Each one that comes to the front is doing an effort. There's no question that they are in a mindset of chasing. Now, the calculation here is that if they try to chase too fast, that's not necessary. They've got plenty of time. There's no rush. They just have to catch them before the end of the race. So in that regard, they're doing it very well here. Leaders cross the finish line. And as they are getting to the Greg Cycle sign, the field reaches the finish. Ryan Rustvold in the blue was the rider across the line first for the field. Wilson's in front for Max, the two riders taking the lead spot since the beginning of the race. Saw 23 to go there. On the same straight now as the leaders. Ever so closer. Seeing 22 now on the cards. That's Kenny Williams at the front of the field in that white helmet we just saw. Number 2. Matty Hers doing the work to try to catch here. One right after the other. It's just consistent speed. If the field can be just consistently a little faster than the leaders, they'll get there. Under the Broadmark Realty sign, Ludo has abandoned the effort. He swings up high, signaling to his partner, it's over. An impressive duo that they made off the front, and it certainly made the racing fast for the field. And they get caught early enough that there's plenty of time left in this race for them to recuperate a bit before they have to make another effort to win this thing. So the two of them are certainly not out of this. There's plenty of laps left for them, again, to recover and prepare for the next move. Unless someone else decides to make it really fast right now. Martinez comes to the front of the field, the rider in white, number 18, white and blue. And we got $5 to lead the lap here. $5 to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. $5 on the lap as things start to accelerate at the front already. 5 riders starting to pull away from the rest of the field now. Might be one of our juniors trying to pick up the payday here as the Laser puts himself in a great spot, riding with that orange helmet. And most of the riders behind him have already lost motivation to chase. It looks like Henry might be picking up a little extra allowance this week. Nice. Will he join these 5 and the effort continue? It looks like the field does not want to let them go, so back together we go. Women Omnium has been posted to the live link. Podiums for that. We'd love to do that before the end of the night, so Omnium has been posted for the women. Top 3 will be on the podium picture before leaving tonight. That would be fantastic. Steve Wilsons comes back to the front. You'll remember his name from the first breakaway of the race. Him and Ludo Max working together from the very first lap. So he's still active. He's spent enough time kind of in the middle of the field. He's ready to go again. It's now Mike Darlene at the front, seeing 16 on the lap cards as he crosses the line. Kenny Williams watching things behind him as he swings up out of the way. Down the sprinter's lane, that's Martinez again coming to the front. Very active from the front of this field. If you're coming in and just joining us here late in the evening, you've been wandering through the park and checking out what's going on. This is Friday Night Racing and its final races of the night, and a beautiful, maybe the swan song, I guess, of this beautiful weekend as we all now go to hide in our hidey holes away from the scary, scary sun for a couple of days, including us, by the way. We've canceled Saturday and Sunday. We also will be in the molehill hiding with you all, trying to stay cool. We will wait to make a call on Monday about racing happening or not, so please stay tuned for that. Likely to make a decision on that tomorrow. Likely. No promises. I have no power to make that choice, so it's probably just an empty promise at this point. Acceleration from the front here as we're beginning to pick up the pace. That's Carl Hofer, number 32, for the Team Audi team in red. He does work to start this snap again of 5, although I say that snap is going to be pretty short-lived. One snap of your finger and they're back together again. Our riders are going to see 12 to go. Most of them riding above the blue line. Leaves a nice space for you-know-who. Ludo Max says, sure thing, I can roll. You know I can. Going slow is not a thing he knows how to do, so he'll just continue to cruise right down that sprinter's lane and keep things moving. And Carl Hofer will join in, maybe thinking everybody else wants a break. The two of them will try to make it hard. Martinez, the rider in white, blue, and yellow, number 18, is doing some work to bring the riders back up almost immediately, not allowing anything to get too wide open here. That will not dissuade Ludo Max, though, from still doing work as the field is stretched out and showing effort here to hold on. And I got $5 to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. Our second and last preem of the race. Just as the field kind of comes back together again. So the last preem we had a bit of a break of 5. Now the field comes together again, although it's going to be an awfully similar name coming to the front. It's Henry again. Recent upgrade for the junior team up here into the Cat 1-2 field, and he's trying to make a name for himself as, well, at the least, I'm going to go get the money. Henry finds 5 more bucks. It's like, dang, this upgrade's been good for me. No more preems. The race is all in their hands now. Three riders off the front now. It's Matty Hers in the black with the white helmet. Feeling a little bit richer tonight. Henry Kaiser in the orange helmet. And then with them is Steve Wilson's the rider that got off the front at the beginning of the race. Starting to open things up for themselves just a bit here. So a nice gap. Not as big as we saw at the beginning of the race, but still some distance here. We'll see if that translates as Carl Hofer does not want to let this get away. He's already re-accelerated the field. Eight on the lap cards. Wilson's has a team, but I'm not sure he's totally motivated here. Yep, he looks up and says, you know what? We're not making any advances here, and I've already did a big effort early. I'm going to have to go back in this field for a little bit longer. This is not the way to win. So he'll move off, but Matty Hers still says, you know what? I can put a little pressure on everybody. I'll do that. He does give up on his effort in turn 3. And those riders will try to find their spot in the back of the line as Nick Martinez is the one to pull them through. Williams cruises through, giving room now for Brandon Russell to take the lead spot. Riders seeing 6 to go as they come across the line there, so we're getting awfully close now. Not a lot of time left for anything to get away in this field, as it will likely be a sprint from this group to win it. There's still time, though, for someone to set something up, and the time's closing down here awfully quick. So now it's got to be in everyone's mind is either we're going fast and trying to drop people, or it's about positioning and being ready for the attack whenever it comes. We know as we get to 5 to go, with not a lot of track left to ride, it's anyone's race to win out of this field. Little Max now at the front, number 38. Matty Hers 15. Both pull up to the right to slow things down a little bit for themselves. Little sees a familiar figure and decides to come back down to join in on the action as Hers will join in as well. But not a lot of pressure on the pedals here, actually. It looks like Wilson's was looking like he might want to go, and he says, yeah, no thanks. Mike Darlene, number 31 for Center Cycles on the lead of the lap at 3 to go. The slow lane is above the blue line, and that's where we find the field. Coming through turns 3 and 4, everybody's riding a position that's in ready to move. And you better be ready, because here comes probably the last-ditch effort for Steven Wilson's to try to win this thing. At 2 to go, Wilson's has made a big move out of turn 4, and he's trying to give himself one last chance to win from the front. Riders were not immediately responding, but they had to be ready in their minds, knowing that this would be a move that Wilson's might try to make. As the bells ring and the field is trying to come for him, it's going to be the last lap for the field. He might as well go for it. Wilson's at the front. Kaiser is lasering for the front now, trying to catch on quickly. Can he get around the outside? It looks like Henry's found the speed. He'll catch the back wheel and continue to move around. Ludo Max is still on the wheel. It's going to be Brando Russell as well in position. Matty Hers, the rider in the white helmet, also finding his turn of speed now. Look out in the middle of the field. The rider in pink is starting to accelerate as well. There's going to be 3 riders across the field. Brando Russell trying to hold on for the front. Brandon Russell for Found Cycling. Can he hold on? It'll be, whoa! Matty Hers down the middle. Unofficially with a bike throw. That was awfully close. Nolan Adams might have gotten it on the outside. That was great. Brandon Russell, I thought, was going to be able to carry it, but man, the acceleration from Nolan, impressive. Matty Hers was holding on the entire time and had the bike throw in the last moment. Might have been enough for him. Oh, boy. That's the finish we love. Nice race. All 3 of our front finishers there. Our officials have to go back to the finish camera for that one. 30 laps of excitement for the Cat 1-2s. Nice racing tonight, and thank you. We've got one more race. Cat 3 is our largest field tonight. 25 laps of awesome coming up here. Scratch race with 2 preems, $5 each from the announcer during this one. One last race tonight, and this field has been showing up as well and doing some great things this evening, and our largest field of competitors too. So the Cat 3s with 25 laps of scratch racing. Don't know if we get much better than that last finish tonight, because that was a pretty good one, but you never know. Plenty of fast finishers in this field too. All right, so the official call is Matty Hers on the final sprint there, by the way. Matty with the bike throw. It was close. We'll get that picture because it was pretty good there. All 3 very close. The whistle sounds as I'm talking because I'm doing a bad job. Womp womp. And our field's underway now. They've got 25 laps of scratch racing up ahead of them. Z-Dog takes the lead spot for Fell Swoop, the black and orange squad. Hey, for taking off tonight. I know it's getting late. Hey, it's the best part of the evening, though. It's kind of beautiful now, but thank you for joining us and supporting our riders and our athletes in person. It's so great to have these audiences on Fridays. It makes for a wonderful racing and spectating venue all together. So thank you, everybody that came out tonight. Thank you, Carl, for he's like, yeah. That's what makes racing fun is when we have people here to cheer us on. It's a good environment here at the Velodrome. So thank you for joining us and supporting the athletes. It takes the whole community here to make this evening really work. Austin Hillsbreath, the rider in blue on blue, number 320, moves out of the way for one of our liquid velo competitors, Isaac Jurassic. How about an early preem? I got $5 to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. Who wants the payout here? $5, an early preem. Everybody's still in this thing. Who wants to go all in for the cash? Not a ton of people working for the money just yet. There we go. Branson out of the field. David Branson, number 318, I have as our winner for the Preem. And off of the coattails of his own efforts, why not continue to roll things forward? He's the second rider there, though. There he continues to roll with it. Forming now a two-rider group. Itai Malakoff also trying to pick up the $5. Not quite able to get there in time, but he'll continue to roll with it for a little bit off the front of the field and see what happens. I think both of them are kind of aware that, this is not gonna end in us staying away. Let's get out of here. If you're still out there and you haven't done so yet, you think we're doing an okay job with our online production and sharing a live stream for your home enjoyment, please leave that thumbs up on the stream. Give us a subscription, help out the JB Velodrome channel. We'd appreciate your support. If you're here in person and haven't given us those follows, that could also be a big boon for us as well. The social media thing is a big deal for us in terms of spreading the word, letting more people being able to watch and support racing, for us to build a name for ourselves here in the PNW. Thank you for your help and support on that front. Riders taking their turns at the front. We got Z-Dog back again for more. It'll be Joe Springer to take the wheel next. Itai Malakoff right behind him. The Omnium for the Cat 1-2 men have been posted. Podiums for that can happen shortly. Omnium for Cat 1-2 men posted. That's Austin moving off the front there. Hillspreth making a move to bring a couple with him. That might turn into a group of three now, trying to make something of it. It's Kyle Springer also feeling like he's got something to give here in the middle of this race. So he'll jump in on it as well. I haven't taken a look over the truck to know if Jessica's Unique Bite's still open and doing okay there, but I imagine that they've been doing great tonight because we were so excited to have a back food truck. Last orders here kind of coming into our evening. If you still need to grab a bite to go, get your order in before the end of the evening. Patience from the field here at the midway section of this race. Majority of the field able to keep it together, so at this point you've kind of made it through those opening laps of some speed, a little bit of anxiousness there. Time for everyone to take a breather for just a moment. Joe finds himself at the front of it, up near the rail though, so he's not in a position of trying to lead it out. Just by circumstance, everybody decides that he's wheel will be the one to follow. And now it'll be Carl's turn to be in the limelight as he'll take the move down the sprinter's lane, and Cal Springer will also match the speed. I thought he might have been abandoning the cause, but Carl is on the pedals now, trying to move this thing along, and the field stretched out in response. They'll be seeing 11 to go here as Z-Dog is back at the front again with that black and orange look for the Fell Swoop team. And I got $5 to lead the lap because I want to see some more. $5 to lead the lap. $5 to lead the lap. Go make something happen. Oh, here we go. Don Wells looking around saying, anybody challenging me for this one? I got my next beer. Let's do it. You'll hold on to that one to buy a beer when the beer gardens open again. That's right, a future investment that he will later cash out. Don Wells, writing that name down before I forget. Don Wells, there it is. Okay. Very good. Our preems are out for the field. It's just a race now. Z-Dog off the front. Number 305 opened up a little bit of a gap here. I mean, Z-Dog's a great name, but his real name, Z-Quan, is not too bad either. Z-Dog making a show tonight off the front of the field as he's opened up a nice big opening for himself. Plenty of room behind him as the field is sitting at the blue line or above. Z-Dog still on a tear. Plenty of distance here, as you can tell. The field now crosses the finish line, and Z-Dog now hits the 200 meter, so that's about 175 meters for him already. Not too bad for our Fell Swoop competitor. Now the clock is his worst enemy. If he can just, I mean the laps, but the amount of time he's out here, he's got to just stay away. Can he do it? Halfway across the track, he's 200 meters up on the field. They're starting to accelerate, though. But 200 meters as the field now begins to really pick up some pace. Kelly Darlene, the first one to do quite a bit of work there. Now Snowby in the all-white, moving along. Z-Dog just now crosses that 200-meter line as they're between corners 1 and 2. I'd still say about 160, 150 meters at least to the leader. Looking like he's got a good position, and the laps continue to count down in Z-Dog's favor. Come on, give Fell Swoop some help here. The solo effort, the hardest way to win a race in terms of the personal effort needed. You just got to get down and dig deep and keep it going. At 5 to go, he's still out there, and he's got a good opening still. Plenty of distance, a nice cushion. The field is moderately quick at this stage of the race. Under the Stanley sign goes our leader through turn 3. And now coming out of turn 4, the field just now hits the 200-meter line. So that distance still pretty big here. Z-Dog still getting help. Four to go, and the gap has started to close down a little bit more rapidly. This is where stories are made, legends are written. Can Z-Dog stay away from the field? This is that personal effort that he just has to dig into the pain cave and see if he can stick with it a little longer. Does he have enough? The field keeps playing with it, but they're not chasing really hard now. Another chance here for Z-Dog. He's gritting the teeth. He'll be feeling this one tomorrow, but right now he's feeling good out in front of the field. 3 to go. If you want someone in the field to go get it, now's the time to give them some encouragement. Z-Dog, 2 to go. 2 to go. Can he hold on? If I was betting men, I'd say yes. It's looking pretty good for Fell Swoop. Oh man, light it up, says Coach. The juniors are at the front. They're going to start trying to go catch this thing. They don't have a lot of time left. They've been trying to keep him just close enough. That's Joe Spranger at the front of the thing with Carl Pratis right behind him. Snowby ready to go too. David Branson all lined up. This is going to be at the bell. Look at the closing distance. Do they have enough? Will they catch him? He's in his personal effort. Can he hold him off? Can he hold him off, Z-Dog? 1 to go. 1 to go. Come on. Oh, here they come. Pratis is doing a lot of work here. I thought he was going to be able to hold him away, but look at the speed here. Will it be enough? No, the Z-Dog getting caught here on the back straight. Will they get there? It's going to be Snowby coming out in front now, coming down the back straight. It's going to be a couple more riders coming around the outside. Look out, the blue line is flying. Oh, man. We're all rooting for Fell Swoop, but here comes the speed out of the turn. It's going to be 2 riders up. It's John Levi and, Cal Spranger. It'll be Levi and Spranger going 1 and 2. Z-Dog. Oh. I mean, I have no bias, or I wasn't rooting for anybody. Everyone did a great job. You're all wonderful. Oh, that was good. Thanks, everybody, for making it out here to the Velodrome. That was a fun way to end the night. We appreciate our fans that stuck through all the way to the end of it. I know it's a long evening, but it's fun. And you get rewarded with fun stuff like that. So thank you for being on the stream as well. Checking us out online. If you liked it, leave the thumbs up, a subscription. We'd appreciate your support. It has been an absolute pleasure to be with you here on this Friday night. Once again, no racing over the weekend, no Velodrome activities. We are closing down shop for a couple days. Thanks to our officials and our staff and our volunteers for making it happen. And of course, thanks to Jessica's Unique Bites for being here as well. Get your on the way out order. They may still be open for a few more minutes here. We will look forward to hosting you for more racing here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.